Welcome to Suno Pakistan, Mr. Mustafa. Thank you so much for giving us time. What do you think of current situation in Gaza and what new development are to be seen in coming days?
The situation is absolutely disastrous in Gaza at the moment. Israel is conducting massacres, one after the other, in Gaza, with the whole world watching and doing nothing. So far, more than 5,200 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli airstrikes, including 2,080 children, innocent children, who are dying around the clock with Israeli air bombardment. Israel is conducting 3 war crimes on Gaza. The first one is ethnic cleansing, where they have forced 1.4 million people to evict their homes, destroying no less than 50% of all houses and homes in Gaza, partially or completely. And they are conducting an act of genocide, where this bombardment is leaving no space in Gaza without destroying it. And then they have this act of collective punishment, where they are depriving people from water, electricity, food, and medical supplies. At this very moment, we are very worried about the fact that all hospitals in Gaza will stop working in 46 hours because of lack of fuel. And Israeli advisor to Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, declared that they will not allow any fuel into Gaza, even if all the hostages or all the prisoners are released. This is a very disastrous situation. A whole population is subjected to act of genocide. And the Western countries are unconditionally supporting Israel with every possible way, including blocking every resolution in the United Nations Security Council about a ceasefire. What we need
Mr. Mustafa, since Israel has vowed to annihilate Hamas completely, and in the war between Israel and Hamas, it's innocent people of Palestinians who are paying the price, actually. There are no water, shortage of medicines also. Nearly 2.3 million people are under siege. So is this going to be another Nakba?
It is already another Nakba, a much worse Nakba. And if Israel had the ability, they would have evicted everybody from Gaza into Egypt. And of course, it was only because of the heroic stand of the Palestinian people who decided to die and not become refugees again. And the Egyptian very strict position that they would not allow another transfer of Palestinians. Because of that, it's not happening. But in reality, this is a terrible catastrophe. And Israel is not annihilating Hamas. They are annihilating the Palestinian people. All the people in Gaza. And by the way, Hamas is not in control of the West Bank, but they are also attacking every Palestinian in the West Bank. So far, we have lost 100 people. A prisoner was killed in jail after he has been arrested 5 days ago. They are harassing prisoners. They are harassing communities. The Israeli settlers are armed, and they are around the area terrorizing Palestinian civilian population. It's an act of genocide and annihilation of all Palestinian people.
And Mr. Mustafa, what do you believe with U.S. military enforcement? Do you think this issue will further escalate?
Of course, the United States in this case is siding completely with Israel. And it is not only complicit with the war crimes that are happening against Palestinians, they are actually participating in them by sending 2,000 troops or maybe more, sending their aircraft carriers, trying to prevent, of course, the Hezbollah from interfering in this fight. But in reality, the whole region is about to be exploding. And this is a result of the United States policy for decades, which prevented any possible peaceful resolution of the conflict or any progress of the peace process, because they always do what Israel wants.
Mr. Mustafa, we are seeing so much devastation across Gaza by Israeli air attacks. So how the life of survivor, keeping in mind that no place is safe?
No single place in Gaza is safe. My colleagues, our doctors and nurses who are working there, tell me that they feel that they could be killed at any moment. They are sending us letters about like saying that they could die at any moment, and they just are in total terrible situation, and they are afraid for their children. They are afraid of their homes. Look, imagine. I mean, what can justify killing more than 2,080 children up till now? I mean, the images of children who are brought out of from under the rubble of Israeli airstrikes are shocking.
Yes.
And there are about 1,000 additional Palestinians who are under the rubble, and nobody take them out because of the continuation of airstrikes. We estimate that 600 of
Mr.
them
Mustafa, by keeping the whole situation in mind, what do you think? Are you or the people of the Palestinians are satisfied by the role of neighboring country of Palestinian in particular, or by the role of Muslim Ummah in generally?
No, they are not, because we feel we are left alone. And of course, we don't blame the people. The people are demonstrating everywhere, and the people are showing total support of Palestinians, but the governments are not. And I think the governments in the Arab world, in the Islamic world, could stop this massacre if they tell the United States that they will stop dealing with them unless they force Israel to stop this massacre. The only country in the world that can now apprehend Israel is the United States of America. And the United States of America will do nothing if all Muslim and Arab countries continue to cooperate with them as if nothing is happening.
So, what is the role of the international or regional organizations? Do you think that United Nations or OIC will be successfully be able to negotiate peace according to this matter or in this matter?
No, because the United Nations is under American control. I mean, look how many vetoes the American deal has used. Actually, America has passed to Israel the power of the veto power they have in the Security Council. And the United Nations is crippled. I mean, what is happening is very serious. I mean, they are sending a message to the world that, first of all, the double standard is the policy. I mean, comparing their position in Ukraine, where they send 224 billion of military equipment, etc., to support Ukraine that they say is fighting occupation. In the case of Palestine, they are sending similar support to Israel to conduct occupation against Palestinians. The second message is that there is no international law in this world. It's the law of jungle. Anybody who has power can do whatever they want. This will have consequences on the whole globe. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And the fact that the West is supporting a settler colonial system that has been oppressing Palestinians for 75 years is an indication of how bad the situation is.
Mr. Mustafa, we are seeing in social media the people of Gaza starving with hunger, and the aid at the Egypt border was finally allowed to Gaza. But reports are coming through different resources and media resources and channels. The aid is not enough for people, and why the Israeli is not letting aid in?
Of course, it's not sufficient. It's nothing. Gaza needs 500 trucks of supplies every day. What they have sent to Gaza up till now is 56 trucks only. Gaza is already in shortage of 1,000 trucks because for 16 days they've got nothing. So what does 56 trucks do when you need 8,000? And on top of that, Israel is not allowing any drop of oil, of energy to Gaza. That means hospitals will stop working. That means that hundreds of babies will die because they are in incubators in hospitals that will stop working because of no electricity. That means surgical operations cannot be conducted. We have already 17,000 injured people. You can imagine what happens to them. I never thought in my life that in the 21st century we will see a situation like we had in the Indonesian hospital in Gaza, where the doctors had to operate on injured people without
Mr. Mustafa,
anesthesia.
we've been hearing about China's war fleet deployment in Middle East. Do you think, will this gonna make any difference?
Can you repeat the question, please?
We've heard about the China's war fleet deployment. Do you think that will this make any difference?
I don't know, but I know one thing, that this world is in bad situation, and that the fact that so many countries are shying away from stopping this aggression on Palestinians and are even supporting the conduction of massacres against Palestinian people is a very difficult situation, and of course it would lead to global crisis. The world is not in good shape. And the message that the United States and Israel are sending is that every country in this world who has the power can do anything they want to their neighbors. That's the kind of message they are sending. And they are saying that there is no international law. If Israel is occupying us, it's okay. While in other cases in Ukraine, it's not okay. So they are following their individual egoistic interest, without any care about anything called international law. The problem in this case is that we, the Palestinians, and everybody speaks
Mr. Mustafa,
about what happened on
what's
the
your
7th.
message for Muslim Ummah and Aqwam Muttahida?
I am asking every Muslim in this world, every Arab in this world, every human being in this world that believes in humanity to stand up immediately and exercise every pressure they can so that this massacre stops. If this continues, you will see tens of thousands of Palestinians killed, tens of thousands of children killed, and this will be a grave massacre against humanity.
Yes, sir. And Pakistan has always supported the right to self-determination, and particularly in the context of occupied Jammu and Kashmir, we certainly believe that what would be the situation in Gaza and what the innocent people of civilians have been going through. Our prayers and thoughts are with the innocent peoples of the Palestinian. Thank you so much for your time, sir. That you must be easy.
आप कहीं भी हो, वक्त कोई भी हो, बाखबर रहिए दुनिया के हालात व वाक़यात से। अभी सब्सक्राइब कीजिए सुनो न्यूज़ के YouTube चैनल को और क्लिक करें बेल आइकन को, ताकि आप हमेशा बाखबर रह सकें।